Well, hey there. So this here is a video response for Yasin on how to say Minnesota. That's how you say it, Minnesota. Gotta have that O in there. And, you know, a lot of people from Minnesota like to say, oh, we don't really talk like that here, you know, and stuff like that. But it's not really true. There are people who talk like that. So, yeah. You know, Jesse Ventura, who was the governor back in the late 90s, he said it like that, Minnesota. So, there you go. So Fargo, the movie, wasn't that far off. One other thing I just thought of a few minutes ago, you were talking, Yasin, you were talking about the movie A Serious Man, and I remembered there was that whole thing about Ron Meshbesher and stuff, and I thought, you know, it's kind of funny because it's sort of an inside joke for Minnesotans because he's a real guy, and he's a lawyer in Minneapolis. You know, I did a video talking in a real Minnesota accent a while ago, where I told this joke, and I thought I'd tell it again because I like it. It's a joke about Sven and Ole, these two Norwegian guys, you know, and they were building this barn, and they're putting the siding on the barn, and you know, they're working right next to each other, nailing up the siding, and every once in a while, Sven, he'd take a nail out of his nail pouch and look at it and then put it back. And every once in a while, Ole, he'd take the nail out, look at it, and throw it over his shoulder. And Sven looks at him and says, Ole, why are you throwing them nails on the ground? And Ole says, well, them nails has the head on the wrong end. And Sven says, Ole, don't you know nothing? Them nails is for the other side of the barn. There's a lot of jokes about Ole and his wife Lena. Like, one time, Ole and Lena were in the car. They were driving down to Minneapolis to visit Lena's sister. And Lena, she likes to talk. She was talking, you know. And Ole's not really paying much attention because he's heard it all like 20 times already. So Lena is kind of playing with the door handle, and she accidentally opens the door and falls out the car. And Ole, like I said, he wasn't really paying attention, so he didn't notice. A minute later, a cop comes up behind Ole with his lights on, and Ole pulls over, and the cop pulls up behind him and says, you know, your wife fell out of the car about a mile back there. And Ole looks at him and he says, oh, thank God, I thought I'd gone deaf. Lena, she never really recovered from that because it was winter, it was real cold out, and she got, you know, kind of sick, and she died eventually. And Ole called the undertaker after she died, and he said, you know, my wife just died, can you come and pick up the body? And the undertaker says, sure, just tell me your address. And Ole says, it's 43 Eucalyptus Street. The undertaker says, oh, Eucalyptus Street, can you spell that for me? And Ole thinks about it for a minute, and he says, how if I just drag her over to Maple? So there's some Minnesota jokes for you. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye-bye.